Good evening and welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Summoned to appear before this august assembly are your usual suspects for hosting this event, charged with the mandate to sequester these proceedings whilst being as least adversarial as possible, lest they be accused of contempt. Please welcome attorneys at law Mokshini Jayamana and Shehan Gunawardhana.
Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice,
Honorable the Attorney General,
my Lords and Lady Justices,
Eminent President's Counsel,
learned friends of this noble profession,
ladies and gentlemen.
the passage of time brings with it inevitable change, but the memories of those who have shared their lives with this organization and helped shape it into its present glory remain etched in our hearts.
Each President, Secretary, Treasurer, or member who has passed on contributed to the rich tapestry of our community, leaving behind legacies that continue to inspire us. Their presence brought respect, wisdom, and a unique spirit that has shaped our collective journey these past 50 years.
Today, we gather our thoughts in a minute of reverence to honor the past members who have departed from this earthly realm.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we invite all of you to kindly rise from your seats for the observance of a minute of silence.
Thank you. You may kindly resume your seats.
We shall take this opportunity to now pay special tribute to past presidents who have dedicated their time, energy, and wisdom in the service of our organization. Each of these esteemed individuals and legal luminaries has played a pivotal role in steering our community through both calm and stormy seas, leaving an indelible mark that guides us even today.
As we reflect on their contributions, let us remember their visionary efforts and the unyielding passion they demonstrated in serving the members and the citizens of this country.
past presidents who have served with distinction, we extend our heartfelt gratitude. Your legacies live on in the principles we continue to uphold and the paths we tread.
Throughout its history, the Bar Association has achieved numerous milestones, from advocating for legal reforms to providing continuing professional development for its members, assisting members in difficulties, providing legal aid to the less fortunate, and fearlessly defending the rights of the citizen, irrespective of caste, creed, or ethnicity.
The association has consistently demonstrated its dedication to upholding the highest traditions of the bar, including the culture of mentorship, where seniors continue to nurture junior members into seasoned professionals, sharing their knowledge and expertise with younger members.
A golden jubilee such as this is not only a time to reflect on past achievements, but also an opportunity to look forward to the future. The Bar Association will continue to evolve, embracing new challenges and opportunities with the same spirit of innovation and determination that has characterized its history.
As we celebrate the Golden Jubilee, we are reminded of the legacy of excellence that has been passed down through generations. We shall commit to continuing this legacy, ensuring that the Bar Association remains a beacon of integrity, of professional excellence, and of service to the community.
May the next 50 years be filled with even greater achievements and milestones as we continue to uphold the principles, values, and traditions that have defined the Bar Association since its inception.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Shehan and I thought we would have to retire from the practice before we could retire from our duties on stage, we were able to find and mentor two young and talented individuals to pass the baton on to.
Therefore, on the advice of the Honorable the Attorney General just received, we shall discharge ourselves from this sequestration. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage
your hosts for the rest of the evening,
attorneys at law, Purnima Pilapitiya
and Charlene Benedict.
Thank you very much, attorneys at law, Shehan Gunawardena and Mokshini Jaimana. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and once again a very warm welcome out to each and every one of you to this Golden Jubilee celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor to be your hosts for this Golden Jubilee celebrations, where we are also honored to celebrate and of course bid farewell to the former Chief Justice, welcome the incumbent Chief Justice, and also, ladies and gentlemen, very specially, felicitate some of the most senior members of the Bar Association. Ladies and gentlemen, our learned friends who have completed 50 years in the practice.
Back in 2019, the Bar Council of England and Wales celebrated its 125th anniversary. Speaking at the celebrations, the then Vice President of the Court of Appeal, the Right Honourable Lady Justice Hallett, described the Bar Council as being a system respected throughout the world, if not at home, for its integrity and excellence.
Ladies and gentlemen, while the Bar Association of Sri Lanka is still relatively in its youth, 50 years of existence, In that half a century, ladies and gentlemen, this institution has witnessed profound changes, faced numerous challenges, and experienced growth in the span of several lifetimes. From new constitutional changes to Sri Lanka, to constitutional crises in the country, the tragedy of war, revolution, and revolt, to transformative changes that have shaken and shaped our nation. The Bar Association, ladies and gentlemen, has remained a steadfast anchor, a guardian of integrity, the rule of law, and above all, ladies and gentlemen, the public interest.
And to commence tonight's celebrations, we warmly invite to the lectern President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, President's Counsel, Anuramatteyakota, to deliver the welcome address.
Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Murthu Fernando, President's Counsel, Attorney General Parinda Ranasinghe, President's Counsel, Your Lordships and Ladyships of the Supreme Court, Your Lordships and Ladyships of the Court of Appeal, Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya, who is expected at any time now, he has still not, he'll be here soon. My eminent colleagues of the Inner Bar, Minister of Justice, our affable colleague Harshana Nanayakara, Solicitor General Viraj Dayaratna, President's Counsel, Honorable Judges of the High Court and other courts of first instance, most distinguished jubilarians, my learned friends, members of the Bar, ladies and gentlemen, and friends. It is with mixed feelings of joy and humility that I rise to speak a few words on behalf of the Bar Association when we celebrate multiple events of the Bar and the legal profession. On this historic occasion, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you to celebrate a truly momentous occasion, the 50th anniversary of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. As we mark this golden milestone, I wish to take a moment to reflect on the journey of our association, honor those who have contributed immensely to the profession, and recognize our colleagues who have upheld the rule of law with unwavering dedication. The Golden Jubilee is also an occasion to remember the great judges and lawyers who assisted in the dispensation of justice. It is also an occasion which gives us the opportunity to reflect upon the preserved rich legacy and heritage which we have inherited from them. The Bar Association of Sri Lanka, ladies and gentlemen, was formally established in 1974 with the fusion of the profession of advocates and proctors upon the enactment of the Administration of Justice law in the previous year. The association was formed with the amalgamation of the Council of Advocates of Sri Lanka, known as the Bar Council, representative of all advocates, and the Ceylon Law Society, the Association of Proctors, to unite the legal fraternity under a single umbrella, to maintain the honor and independence of the Bar of Sri Lanka, and also promote and protect the rights, privileges, welfare, and interests of both professions, whilst upholding the rule of law and the administration of justice. Over the past 5 decades, the Bar Association has grown from strength to strength and been at the forefront of democracy and the rule of law in Sri Lanka, playing a pivotal role in shaping the legal landscape of our nation. From its inception, the Bar Association has been a beacon of justice, not only in Sri Lanka but also in the world, defending the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary, and advocating for an independent judiciary, advocating for legal reforms, and ensuring that the fundamental rights of all Sri Lankans are protected and preserved. The Bar has stood firm as a voice against injustice, a forum for legal scholarship, and a platform for professional development. The bar has also withstood and successfully overcome all challenges that were placed before it, whether by the executive or the legislature. Over the past 50 years, many of our colleagues, some of whom were in the prime of their youth, have made the supreme sacrifice in defending democracy and the rule of law in this country. Today, we honor their memory of all of them who have passed on before us to the shores beyond. We also celebrate the courage, resilience, determination, and tenacity of our members, some of whom, despite the dangers faced by them and their families, successfully withstood all attempts that were made to undermine the independence of the judiciary and the democratic ideals we cherish and uphold. As we celebrate 50 years of our existence, ladies and gentlemen, let us reaffirm our commitment to these ideals to ensure that the Bar Association of Sri Lanka continues to thrive for generations to come. Dear colleagues and friends, tonight we also have the distinct pleasure of felicitating Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Murthy Fernando, President's Counsel, whom we welcomed as the 48th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka at a ceremonial sitting of the Supreme Court just a few weeks ago. Your Ladyship has assumed this esteemed office at a time when the nation looks to the judiciary for upholding justice, the safeguarding of democracy, and the preservation of public confidence in the legal system. We as the Bar extend our fullest support to Your Ladyship in carrying out this sacred duty with integrity and wisdom. Your Ladyship has had the distinct honor of being one of only 2 women to adorn the seat of the head of the judiciary, and we count it nothing less than our privilege to have an audience before Your Ladyship during your tenure. The challenges ahead may be many, but we are confident that under Your Ladyship's tenure, the judiciary will continue to serve as a pillar of justice and fairness. We wish Your Ladyship strength, courage, and success in this noble endeavor. As we felicitate a new Chief Justice, we also take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude to Honorable Jayantha Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, the 47th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, who laid down the reins of office a little over 2 months ago. I have no doubt that I am echoing the sentiments of all our colleagues present in this audience this evening, that Your Lordship served with distinction and honor during your tenure as Chief Justice. Your Lordship's tenure has been marked by your steadfast commitment to upholding the Constitution, strengthening judicial independence, and ensuring justice for all. Despite the many challenges, your Lordship has carried out the duties of this esteemed office with wisdom, fairness, and unwavering dedication to the rule of law. On behalf of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka and the entire legal fraternity, I extend our heartfelt appreciation for your invaluable service. We wish Your Lordship a contented and happy retirement and also good health. Tonight, we also have the distinct privilege of recognizing the contribution of distinguished members of the Bar who have completed 50 years of dedicated service in upholding the rule of law and assisting in the administration of justice in our beloved land. Reaching this significant milestone is no small feat, and it speaks volumes of your dedication, resilience, and commitment to the rule of law and the noble profession we all belong to. To our esteemed senior members, permit me to say that you have been the guiding light for generations of lawyers, shaping the course of the profession with your integrity, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to justice. Your legacy is one of excellence, and we, the members of the Bar, stand upon the foundations that have been laid by all those who have served the Bar, the legal profession, and this association with deep devotion to the cause of justice. On behalf of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, I extend our heartfelt congratulations and warmest appreciation to each one of you. Your service to the profession and to justice itself is a source of inspiration to all. As we celebrate the 50th anniversary, where we recognize the evolutionary process which is also common to the legal profession. New challenges, new legal frameworks, and new societal expectations require us to remain steadfast in our commitment to the noble cause of justice. It is imperative that the Bar Association of Sri Lanka continues to uphold its founding values: justice, independence, and professional integrity, whilst embracing innovation and progress. The legal profession is more than just a career, it is a calling. As we move forward, let us rededicate ourselves to this cause, ensuring that the bar remains strong, that justice is upheld, and that the rights of all Sri Lankans are steadfastly protected. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a night of celebration, of reflection, and of renewed commitment. And as we celebrate this historic and momentous occasion, let us all remember, and if I may adapt the great words of the Magna Carta, to none shall we deny justice, to none shall we delay justice, and to none shall we sell justice. Let us resolve to translate that dream into reality. Let us do so with a deep sense of gratitude for those who have gone before us, and a firm resolve to carry forward their legacy untarnished and unimpaired. I thank you all for your presence this evening and wish you an enjoyable night ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dinner service will now begin. Bon appetit.
In April 2019, President's Counsel Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya was appointed as the 47th Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. His work with United Nations International Criminal Tribunals for the former Yugoslavia and Rwanda are meritorious beacons of exemplary service for justice and humanity. Today, we felicitate the former Chief Justice, President's Counsel Jayantha Jayasuriya, and extend our heartfelt gratitude to him for his years of dedicated service, unwavering commitment to justice, and invaluable contributions to the judiciary in upholding the rule of law. As he embarks on this new chapter in life, we wish him a fulfilling, rewarding retirement from the helm of the judiciary.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed your first course because we're about to move into the first part of this evening's celebrations, the felicitation of the outgoing Chief Justice, His Lordship, President's Counsel Jayantha Jayasuriya.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present this token of appreciation on behalf of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, felicitating His yeoman service to the legal profession here in Sri Lanka during his tenure as Chief Justice. Ladies and gentlemen, I would cordially like to invite onto the stage the President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, President's Counsel Andra Maddegoda, along with the Management Committee of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, to present this award, I also invite onto the stage Attorney General, President's Counsel Parinda Ranasinghe.
And now please welcome to the stage the 47th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, President's Counsel, Jayantha Jayasuriya.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is also our pleasure to invite President's Counsel Upali Gunaratne, the former president of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, to present a copy of his publication on the history of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka to the 47th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, President's Counsel Jayantha Jayasuriya, ladies and gentlemen, on stage today. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gunaratne was present at the very first Bar Council meeting that was held way back when the Bar Association of Sri Lanka began, ladies and gentlemen. As you can clearly see, that was in the year 1974. It is with great respect, ladies and gentlemen, that we acknowledge the presence of these very senior members of our legal profession here with us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And this is President's Counsel Upali Gunaratne presenting a copy of his publication on the history of the Bar Association to the 47th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Chief Justice, President's Counsel Murdu Nirupa Bidushini Fernando completed her bachelor's degree in law at the Faculty of Law, University of Colombo in 1990. Her ladyship completed the LLM in International Business Law in 1996 from the University of London. Upon passing out of Sri Lanka Law College with first-class honours, her ladyship was admitted to the bar in 1983. She commenced her service as a state counsel in 1985 at the Attorney General's Department and rose up in the ranks to become the head of the Civil Division. Chief Justice Murdu Fernando took oaths as a President's Counsel in 2014 and joined the judiciary as a judge of the Supreme Court in 2018. She served as the acting Chief Justice from the 10th to the 15th of October 2024. In December 2024, her ladyship was officially sworn in as the 48th Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Today, we felicitate the newly appointed Chief Justice President's Counsel, Honorable Murdu Nirupa Bidushini Fernando, and extend our best wishes as her ladyship takes on this onerous role. May her tenure be marked by wisdom, fairness, and steadfast commitment to justice, wishing her every success in upholding the rule of law.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the point in the agenda, ladies and gentlemen, where we will be felicitating the 48th Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka.
And to give this token of appreciation, we once again invite to the stage the President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, President's Counsel Anura Mattekota, and also the Management Committee of the Bar Association, as well as the Attorney General, President's Counsel Parindra Ranasinghe.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in welcoming the 48th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, Her Ladyship, Chief Justice, President's Counsel, Murdu Fernando. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We also take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to invite onto the stage once again President's Counsel Upali Gunaratna, a past president of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, to present another copy of his publication on the history of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka to the 48th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, we now take this opportunity to invite Her Ladyship, Chief Justice, President's Counsel Murdu Fernando, to share her thoughts on today's proceedings. And also, we thank the presentation party who may take their seats. Thank you very much. Madam Chief Justice, if you could do us the honors. Madam Chief Justice, we cordially invite you onto the stage to address this gathering today, on this day where the Bar Association welcomes you to your new office of Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, could we welcome our Chief Justice with a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, Vice President, and members of the Executive Committee of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, past presidents, all members of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Honorable Attorney General, Honorable Justices and Judges, my predecessor, Honorable Jayantha Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, all retired justices, President's Counsel, senior attorneys, members of the legal fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant evening to you all. I'm greatly honored and delighted to be present here today in the midst of such a wonderful and a distinguished gathering of lawyers. Most of us meet often, albeit in different circumstances, constrained by etiquette and procedures that our professions require us to adhere. It's refreshing to see all of you here today as one flock, celebrating the climax of the Golden Jubilee anniversary of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. 50 years is a long journey. In the midst of its ups and downs, the Bar Association is striking hard to honor the legacy and build the future of our profession. I salute the Bar Association in its endeavors and wish you all the very best to go forward in order to achieve justice to the citizenry of our motherland. May this milestone event invigorate the Bar Association when you step into the next phase in your march towards excellence in service. When I look around, I see familiar faces, those who were our seniors, judges before whom we appeared, learned counsel whom we opposed, our mentors who taught us the intricacies of the law, and above all, who showed us the ethos, the spirit, the characteristics, and attitudes of the legal profession. I bow my head to those ladies and gentlemen who have completed a long innings, 6 to 50 years of practice in the bar. Last but not least, I bid adieu to my predecessor, the 47th Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, for his services to the nation and to the profession. May you be blessed with happiness in your retirement and the responsibility now bestowed upon you on your new appointment in the international arena. Justice to me is not just an ideal. It is a living and a dynamic force that affects persons, families, communities, and country at large. It falls on us, the legal fraternity, to ease the burden of the citizenry of our beautiful nation. I consider it a great privilege and a responsibility to make sure that the law is administered equitably, impartially, and fearlessly. It is my hope and prayer that we strive to the best of our efforts to make the legal system a little better than it was before. I thank the Bar Association amidst its election fever for taking time off to organize this felicitation ceremony and banquet to welcome me as the Chief Justice of the Republic and continuing with a long-standing practice. Traditions and practices contribute to a sense of comfort, belonging, and bring people together and reconnect the past to the present and to the future. I thank the members of the Bar and all well-wishers for your gracious presence today, honoring and felicitating me at this function. May you be blessed with the best. Thank you once again.
We thank your ladyship for those inspiring and heartwarming words. And on that note, we invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to enjoy the main course before we head into the second part of this evening's celebrations, the felicitations of attorneys at law who are celebrating 50 years at the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this truly special evening, we have gathered to honor the lawyers who have laid the very foundation of this remarkable 50-year journey of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, as they themselves celebrate their own golden anniversary as advocates of justice. We take this moment to applaud their invaluable contributions to the Bar Association and to the nation as a whole.
So without further ado, let's dive in to the Golden Jubilee celebrations for the recipients of the 50-year Service Award. And to do so, we would like to invite to the stage the following members of the Bar Association: the President of the Bar Association, President's Council, Mr. Andrew Maddegota, and the Management Committee of the Bar Association. If we could kindly have you on the stage to begin the presentation of awards. And to lead the presentation of the awards, we also kindly invite once again to the stage the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, President's Counsel, Justice Murthy Fernando.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be welcoming the first jubilant of this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stanley C.A. Obesekera. Mr. Stanley Obesekera is the fourth generation of a distinguished lineage of lawyers, including the first Ceylonese Attorney General. He was notably the first student of Law College to gain admission to the Cambridge University for a Master's in Law without an undergraduate degree in law. Ladies and gentlemen, his prowess in the legal field is only second to his sporting talents as a pivotal figure in the college rugby, tennis, basketball, cricket and billiards teams. Every year, ladies and gentlemen, the best all-round sportsman at Sri Lanka Law College was awarded to none other than Mr. Stanley Obey. The Law College Award, the Stanley Obesekara Award, ladies and gentlemen, to the best all-round sportsman. In addition to contributions to sports at college, Mr. Obesekara also founded the Ceylon Law Students Trust to support his fellow students in need. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big hand of applause to Mr. Stanley C.A. Obesekara.
Our next felicity for this evening is Dr. W.A. Abesinghe. Dr. W.A. Abesinghe has enjoyed a vast and diverse career in law, journalism, media, education and literature. In addition to taking oaths as an attorney at law, he is also a graduate of the University of Kelaniya. As a legal practitioner, he has appeared in the MC, DC and High Courts of Kuliapitiya, Anuradhapura and the Court of Appeal. He has also been the features editor of the Sri Lanka newspaper and in addition to his legal career, is an award-winning writer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is presented to Mr. Ahmad Javed Yusuf. Early in his legal career, Mr. Javed Yusuf served as a state counsel at the Attorney General's Department before transitioning to the unofficial bar, where his legal practice spans multiple areas including civil, criminal, commercial, constitutional and administrative law. Mr. Yusuf has been an active member of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, where he has held several positions including the Assistant Secretary, member of the Bar Council and convener of multiple subcommittees. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond his legal career, Mr. Yusuf has contributed significantly to both governmental and non-governmental sectors. He has served as Sri Lanka's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, senior advisor to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and a member of the Board of Management at the Bandaranaike Centre for International Studies, as well as the Office for National Unity and Reconciliation.
Our fourth awardee this evening is President's Counsel Ikram Mohammed. Mr. Ikram Mohammed PC began his illustrious career as the best performer at the university entrance exams at Royal College, Colombo. Following his days at Reed Avenue, President's Counsel Ikram Mohammed has enjoyed an amazing and vibrant career as a lawyer, lecturer and mentor to several of the next generation of President's Counsels and senior advocates.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our next Golden Jubilee celebrant, President's Counsel Renzi Arasukularatne. Mr. Renzi Arasukularatne has served at the Attorney General's Department for close to 30 years, starting from State Counsel to becoming the Solicitor General, Additional Solicitor General and Head of the Criminal Section of the Department. In addition to being enrolled as an attorney at law, Mr. Arasukularatne, President's Counsel, is also a solicitor of the Supreme Court of England and a barrister of the Australian Capital Territory. His contribution to the national legal system also extends to his time as Director General of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, legal advisor to the Ministry of Fisheries, and member of the Office of National Unity and Reconciliation.
Our next felicity this evening is Mr. U. Indrakumar Vijay Tilaka. Mr. Upali Vijay Tilaka followed in his father's footsteps, becoming a prominent legal practitioner in the Matale and Kandy districts. His fellow batchmates may remember him as the General Secretary of the Law Students' Union 50 years ago. During his practice as a civil and criminal lawyer and notary public, Mr. Vijay Tilaka has attested over 15,000 deeds in the Central Province. In addition to his legal career, he is also an active member of the Central Province as the founder-president of the Matale District Cricket Association and president of several Rotary clubs.
Our next felicity, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Navaratnam Nandakumaran. Mr. Nandakumaran has enjoyed a diverse and colorful career in law, sports and media, both in Sri Lanka and abroad. Upon being called to the bar, he served as legal officer to Holiday Inn, Liberty Cinemas and Ceylon Entertainments, while also serving as the company secretary of the National Film Exhibitors Guild. He has also enjoyed a career in sports commentary as a cricket commentator for SLBC and the Southern California Cricket Guild following his migration to the United States of America. He has been the grievance representative to the Los Angeles Community Colleges and the liaison officer to the Sri Lankan Consulate Office in Los Angeles. He is a natural master of ceremonies as a professional compeer and announcer. Ladies and gentlemen,
and next to the stage, please warmly welcome Miss Bambaravanage Mallika. Miss Mallika began her career practicing in Nuwara before joining the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation as a legal officer, where she served until her retirement. She is currently the company secretary to the MD Gunasena Group of Companies.
ladies and gentlemen, the award is being accepted on behalf of Mrs. Bambaravanage, ladies and gentlemen, and she is unable to be present with us here today. But of course, this award is being presented in recognition of her service to the Bar Association of Sri Lanka and the legal profession. Please join me in welcoming our next felicity. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ranga Thiagaraja. Mr. Thiagaraja follows in the footsteps of his father, Mr. C. Thiagaraja, Crown Attorney. He was also enrolled as a solicitor of England and Wales and began his career under the mentorship of Mr. N. Tiruchelvam, Queen's Counsel. During his career in Sri Lanka, Mr. Thiagaraja represented both Commercial Bank and People's Bank, also appearing in criminal matters. He currently resides and practices in the United States of America with experience in litigation, commercial matters at law firms, and at one time, the New York Power Authority.
Our next felicity is Mrs. Shriyani Manil Ranguputta. Unfortunately, Mrs. Ranguputta is unable to be with us this evening, but the award will be accepted on her behalf by her son, Dulika Imuldeniya, who himself is an attorney at law.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is presented to Mrs. Sarojini Devi Ilangovan. Mrs. Sarojini Devi Ilangovan was admitted both as an attorney at law and proctor in the year 1973 and 1974. She was also a member of the judiciary as a district court judge. Mrs. Ilangovan has also represented Commercial Bank, Cargill's Bank and NSB. Following her retirement from the bench, she practices in notarial matters.
Our next felicity is Mr. Senaka Kumar Veeraratna. Mr. Veeraratna is known as the undisputed author of DRS, the decision review system that is used in international cricket. He has delivered several talks in public forums and is the honorary secretary and trustee of the German Dharmadutta Society. He has also written and edited several books on law, lawyers and society.
Our next award goes out to Miss Nayantara Gunasekara. Miss Gunasekara's career began with court and notary work under the guidance of Mr. Mubarak Taha until she took up a position at People's Bank as a legal officer. Her vibrant career as a solicitor in the United Kingdom and later at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka was balanced by a dedication and her community-oriented spirit. She was the secretary of the Colombo Law Society and an active member of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka and the Women's Lawyers Association. Many members of the fraternity may recall her creative talents on stage at the annual performances at Nitraranga and that of Nocheaka.
Our next awardee is Mrs. Christine Padmarada De Silva. Mrs. De Silva is a practitioner in the District Court of Balapitiya, Elpitiya and the Civil Appellate High Court. She has also been a past president of the Sri Lanka Women Lawyers Association and past president of the Balapitiya Bar Association. Mrs. Padmarada De Silva is herself surrounded by a family of lawyers, including her husband, sister, and children.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next Golden Jubilarian, Mr. A.P. Kanapathy Pillai. Mr. Kanapathy Pillai has been a dedicated advocate in civil, criminal and labour matters, practicing in the District Court of Nuwara Eliya, Hatton and the Civil Appellate High Court of Kandy. In addition to his legal career, he has authored several non-legal books, including The Epic of Tea and Glimpses of a Tea Bud. He has also played a prominent role in the community and plantation matters as a strong trade unionist, president of the United Plantation Workers Union and joint president of the Plantation Trade Union Council.
Next to the stage, we invite President's Counsel, Mrs. Therese R. Silva. Mrs. Therese R. Silva, PC, began her career at the Chamber of President's Counsel, Nimal Senanayake. I beg your pardon, President's Counsel Therese R. Pereira. Prior to joining, she began her legal career under the guidance of President's Counsel Nimal Senanayake before joining the Legal Draftsman's Department as an assistant legal draftsman. She thereafter was attached to the office of the Parliamentary Council of the United Kingdom and was mentored by the very first Parliamentary Counsel, Sir Peter Graham. She has also been appointed as the legal draftsman, the first woman appointed to the head of the Legal Draftsman Department in its 70-year history. Upon being conferred silk in 2003, she created history by being the first woman from the official bar and the second woman ever to be appointed as President's Counsel.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next Golden Jubilarian, Senior Instructing Attorney at Law, Mrs. Shiranti Gunawardhana. Mrs. Shiranti Gunawardhana is a past pupil of St. Paul's Girls' School and Methodist College. Her career began as an assistant law officer at People's Bank before rising to the position of Deputy General Manager, Legal at the Mercantile Group. She has also been a consultant to Finance Houses Association and is currently a partner at a law firm. Mrs. Gunawardhana was also the former president of the Sri Lanka Women's Lawyers Association.
Our next awardee this evening is Miss Dilhara T.R. Amarasinghe. Miss Amarasinghe has enjoyed a vibrant career spanning from her time working with the IMF in Sri Lanka to being an associate at Thiruchelvam Associates. Upon joining the Legal Draftsman's Department, she rose to the position of Deputy Legal Draftsman, thereafter joining the Ministry of Justice, where she was appointed as Additional Secretary. Following her retirement, she has continued to serve the Ministry of Justice as a legal consultant to the Cabinet Subcommittee on Legislation and as a senior legal consultant.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please join us in felicitating Mrs. C.A.S. Jayavira Bandara. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Jayavira Bandara has an active practice in Mount Lavinia as an instructing attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, she has instructed an array of President's Counsels from D.B. Mendis to Ranjan Suhadaratna and so many others. Ladies and gentlemen, she celebrates 50 years in the Bar Association today. Thank you very much to the Honorable Chief Justice, the President of the Bar Association and the Management Committee of the Bar Association for assisting us. would have been entertained by the opening dance and the dance that just was performed on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Those beautiful performances were brought to you courtesy of the Sri Lanka Army Cultural Troupe. Ladies and gentlemen, please join the Bar Association in thanking the Sri Lanka Army Cultural Troupe by giving them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for those brilliant pieces of performances that they put up on stage here today.
Yes, and on that note, we will be continuing with our felicitations for tonight. And to do so, we once again invite to the stage the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, President's Counsel Murthy Fernando, and the President of the Bar Association, President's Counsel Anurumad Dekkota, as well as the Executive Management Committee of the Bar Association. Our next felicity is Mr. W.A. Sarath K. Veragoda. Mr. Veragoda's academic entrance to law began at Vidyodaya University when he offered law as one of his subjects prior to entrance at Sri Lanka Law College. His earlier prowess was reflected in 1973 when he won the gold medal in address to the jury contest. Since then, he has been a practitioner in the Avisavila High Courts, District Courts and Magistrate Courts, and presently he practices at the District Court and Civil Appellate High Courts, holding at Avisavila, Gampaha, Ratnapura, Kegalle and Kaulathara. Mr. Veragoda has also served the country as Sri Lankan High Commissioner to Bangladesh.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next golden jubilarian tonight, President's Counsel Harsha Souza. President's Counsel Harsha A.J. Souza's legal career was taking shape from his early childhood. His father was Justice J.F.A. Souza, a Justice of the Supreme Court. But Mr. Souza's President's Counsel's prowess also reflected in his compelling and convincing writing, winning awards at St. Joseph's College for English essay writing. In addition to being an attorney at law and solicitor of the Supreme Court of England, President's Counsel Souza has also chaired and vice-chaired several national committees, including the Rent Board of Review, Overall Purposes Committee and Elections Commission of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Lawyers Disciplinary Panel appointed by His Lordship the Chief Justice, Director Legal of the Sri Lanka State Plantations Cooperation and Ceylon Shipping Lines and more. Ladies and gentlemen, President's Counsel Harsha Souza.
Our next awardee is Ms. Kanti Kaluarachi. Ms. Kanti Kaluarachi's legal career began at the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation in 1975 when she joined as a management trainee. Over the next 30 years, she rose in the ranks to become the Chief Legal Officer at the CPC. She currently practices as an attorney at law and notary public.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next felicity for tonight, Mr. Kanagasundaram Nandakumar. Gentlemen, we will be moving on with the rest of the felicities for this evening.
Yes, and next we have Mr. N. Thilina Panditharatna. Mr. Thilina Panditharatna is an active member of the Galle Law Association, where he served as an office bearer. Notable for his specialization in industrial and labor law in the legal fraternity, Mr. Panditharatna is equally known for his sporting prowess in cricket, football, athletics, hockey, even playing cricket for Law College. He is also a passionate footballer and was the president of the Sri Lanka Football Federation and legal committee member of the Asian Football Federation. He has also contributed his services as a commissioned officer of the Sri Lanka Army Volunteer Force for 15 years in the rank of captain and has presented several papers at several Asia Labour Law conferences.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next jubilarian tonight, Mr. Hector S.P. Pereira, a third-generation attorney at law who celebrates 50 years at the bar. Mr. Hector Pereira has been a practitioner at the District and Magistrates Court of Kuliapitiya since the year 1975. He was the Secretary of the Kuliapitiya Lawyers Association and was its president in its centenary year, that is 2011. Mr. Pereira was also the panel lawyer for the Kuliapitiya branches of Commercial Bank and Hatton National Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, President's Counsel Harsha Souza will be accepting the award on behalf of Mr. Hector Pereira as he is unable to be present with us here today. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate and award his contributions to the Bar Association of Sri Lanka and the legal profession of the country.
Our 26th felicity is Mr. Thilakan Kanagaratnam. Mr. Kanagaratnam has enjoyed an extensive practice in civil law since his early days as a junior and later professional successor of his uncle, the late Kaikiya Pillai Kanagaratnam, who is a proctor of and notary public up to date. Mr. Kanagaratnam has also functioned as a company secretary for several companies for the last 34 years. Outside of his legal career, his other great passion is in music and dance, where he's a trained classical Bharatanatyam dancer and musician. His colleagues may remember his Carnatic flute recitals at events such as Niti Ranga program organized by the Bar Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next, please join us in recognizing Mrs. Gunathunga Bandara. Mrs. Gunathunga Bandara marked her very first appearance in court only a mere day after taking oaths as an attorney at law. An apprentice and late junior of Mr. Cecil E. Pereira and acting magistrate of Colombo, she has practiced in criminal, family law and conveyancing in Colombo. Ladies and gentlemen, following her migration to Canada, she has continued her legal career at the Ontario Bar and founded her own law firm.
Our next felicity this evening is Mr. S.R.A. Lakshman Samaratunga. Mr. Lakshman Samaratunga is, in addition to being an attorney at law for 50 years, has also been the president of the Gampaha Law Association for 2 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next jubilarian for this evening, Mrs. Manel Kannangara. In addition to being an attorney at law, Mrs. Manel Kannangara is also a solicitor of the Supreme Courts of Victoria and New South Wales, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Her career as a lawyer began in Sri Lanka before she moved to the Australian Taxation Office until her retirement in the year 2018.
Please welcome to the stage our next awardee, Mrs. S. Manil Ranamukkedara Gurusingha. Mrs. Ranamukkedara Gurusingha has served as the Assistant General Manager Legal at Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation, where she has served for 34 years.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming onto the stage our next jubilarian, Madam Justice Shirani Tilakawardhana. Justice Tilakawardhana opened the doors for female members of the legal community in the 1970s, becoming the first female state counsel in Sri Lanka, first female judge of the High Court, first woman Admiralty Court judge, first female justice of the Court of Appeal, and ladies and gentlemen, the first woman president of the Court of Appeal. She served as a Supreme Court justice for many years and was also an acting Chief Justice. Abroad, ladies and gentlemen, she has worked as an attorney at law in the DA's office of Colorado in the United States and is presently an international and national arbitrator and an internationally accredited mediator to the Singapore International Mediation Institute. She is also a judicial educator in Sri Lanka and around the world as a consultant to the UNDP, UNODC, ILO, ICJ, and is on the advisory board of the ASEAN Judicial Integrity Network. She is the deputy chair of the Judicial Integrity Group and is presently involved with drafting of the amendments to the Bangalore Principles on and the commentaries on it.
Our next awardee is Dr. M.W. Padmaraji. Dr. Padmaraji's academic career is of no consequence, being the daughter of late Pandit lecturer in classics, Mr. M.W. Arthur. In addition to her LLB and LLM, Dr. Padmaraji has shared her knowledge, her vast plethora of knowledge and her services as a lecturer at the Faculty of Law, Sri Lanka Law College, the Police Higher Training Institute, Open University and the University of Kelaniya.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next golden jubilarian tonight, Miss Savitri De Souza. Miss Savitri De Souza's legal career began in criminal law under the mentorship of Queen's Counsel A.C. De Souza and Vernon Botheju. She was thereafter the company's secretary for the National Film Corporation of Sri Lanka and the senior legal officer at DFCC Bank. Ms. De Souza also has experience working for the Emirates Bank International Dubai, the Department of Social Securities in Australia, and the Australian Department of Home Affairs, where she works today.
Our next recipient this evening is Ms. Sarojini M.G. Dunuvila. Unfortunately, Mrs. Dunuvilla is unable to be with us today, but her award will be accepted on her behalf by her junior, Miss Tilini Hagoda. Although she is not here with us at this occasion, Miss Dunuvilla's services towards company law, commercial law is not forgotten. She has been the acting chief legal officer and secretary to the board specializing in banking and company secretarial work at the Ratnapura Bar, and has also been the head of legal and the company secretary of Union Bank, the head of legal at Commercial Bank, and thereafter the assistant general manager of the legal department, Cargill's Bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next Golden Jubilarian, retired Judge of the High Court, L.A. Tissa Ekanayaka. Retired Judge Tissa Ekanayaka is the second most senior High Court judge and has served the judiciary for 24 years. Once a former state counsel at the Attorney General's Department, Judge Ekanayaka was later appointed as the Parliamentary Commissioner for Administration in the year 2010. He has been an avid sportsman since his schooling days in Ananda College, Colombo. He's an award-winning athlete, rugby player and cadet. He's also one half of the first couple to serve as the High Court judges in Sri Lanka, alongside Judge Chandra Ekanayaka, who will also be felicitated this evening.
On that note, we would like to ask retired High Court Judge Mr. Tissa Ekanayaka to remain on stage to receive the award on behalf of Justice Chandra Ekanayaka, who is unfortunately not with us at the event today. Of course, Justice Ekanayaka has been a member of the judiciary since 1979, and at the time of her retirement, Justice Ekanayaka was appointed the Acting Chief Justice of Sri Lanka and was a judge of the Supreme Court of Fiji.
Thank you very much to Madam Chief Justice, President of the Bar Association and the Management Committee of the Bar Association for assisting us in distributing those awards. Ladies and gentlemen, could we have one big final round of applause for all jubilarians who have been felicitated tonight. Thank you very much to our loving seniors for building this profession to what it has become today.
And now we have a few words from one of our felicitees. He's not only celebrating 50 years at the bar tonight, but he's also the sole past president of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka among our recipients this evening. Let's please warmly welcome to the stage President's Counsel Ikram Mohammed.
Milady, Chief Justice Murthy Fernando, President's Counsel, Your Lordship, the retired Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, Your Lordships, the judges of the Supreme Court, Your Lordship, the judges of the Court of Appeal, Solicitor General of Sri Lanka, Honorable Judges, the President of the Bar Association and the Management Committee, my learned friends, dear President's Counsel, my learned friends in law, distinguished friends, and dear families. I am indeed honored to have been asked to speak a few words on this occasion on behalf of those who have completed 50 long years in the bar. Firstly, may I congratulate Your Ladyship, the new Chief Justice, on your Ladyship's appointment to the highest position in judiciary in our country. Your Ladyship is the second Lady Justice to be appointed to this highest position in Sri Lanka, and I wish you, Your Ladyship, all the very best and good luck, dear Madam. May I also bid farewell to Your Lordship Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, on your retirement as the Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, and wish Your Lordship all the best in your future endeavors. Your Lordship's patience and judicial temperament are already missed by the bar. The legal profession to which all of us belong is a noble profession, and it is an integral part of the administration of justice of this country. In a recent judgment, as His Lordship Justice Surasena had described the legal profession as sine qua non for due administration of justice in our country. His Lordship, in the judgment, has set out that this profession is essential for the maintenance of the rule of law and maintenance of law and order, and its due existence is paramount importance to the organized functioning of the society, which is primarily the basis for the smooth functioning of the country as a whole. Therefore, His Lordship has observed that the community must always have competent lawyers, for it is then only that the citizens can assert and vindicate their rights created and granted by law and claim that the due administration of justice and the rule of law prevails in this country. Therefore, you observe how important our legal profession, which is a noble profession. We are a part in the due administration of justice, and your lordships and the judges steer justice process in the country. Our judges are therefore greatly responsible for the due administration of justice, and that is why when I was the president of the bar then, briefed the press that judges are our national assets who should be protected by the state in seeking police protection when our loved High Court Judge, Mr. Ambe Pitiya, was assassinated. Some of us were admitted to the bar in the year 1974, having sat for the last final advocate's examination, and others for the last proctor's examination. And thank God, all of us have completed 50 long years successfully. When we joined the bar in 1974, we were privileged to witness some of the greatest lawyers of this country has produced. Among them were Mr. Thiagalingam QC, Mr. Naravaraja QC, Mr. S.W. Jabona QC, Mr. A.C. Gururatna QC, Mr. Sam Kadirigama QC, and Mr. Neville Samarkon QC, who later became the Chief Justice of this country. We were greatly inspired by those great luminaries of our profession. I was privileged to have apprenticed under my senior, Mr. B.J. Fernando. Mr. B.J. Fernando, sir, who was subsequently appointed the President's Counsel. Many of us, including Mr. Romesh de Silva, President's Counsel, one of the most eminent lawyers of our time, late Justice Prasanna Jawar, the President's Counsel, Mr. Nihal Fernando, President's Counsel, were all privileged to have been junior of Mr. B.J. Fernando, who inculcated us with great values of this profession. Those were the seniors and honorable members of stature who were undoubtedly eminent and entitled to lead the bar. At least we refer to them as leaders of the bar. I do not know how long this noble profession would be led by such eminent and senior lawyers, as I feel a dangerous trend has emerged for the juniors to seek the leadership of the bar, claiming to be popular among lawyers. Perhaps because the seniors are not stepping up to take the lead to uphold the highest standards and traditions of the bar as they rightfully should. Our profession is not a trade. The Bar Association is not a trade union. The Bar Association is looked up to by all other professional associations and bodies of this country. Our association must be led undoubtedly by eminent lawyers, and our profession is full of such eminent lawyers. particularly because the Bar Association is primarily responsible for the maintenance of the rule of law in this country. Completing 50 years in any profession is not an easy task, and more so in our profession, as the conduct of the members of the profession is subject to disciplinary control of the Supreme Court. I think those of us who have completed 50 years and who are felicitated today are honorable lawyers. We have not been subjected to the disciplinary control of the Supreme Court. We who have completed 50 years at the bar have, in my view, rendered a great service to the citizens of this country. We have tirelessly fought for their rights and have on many occasions succeeded. We have on numerous instances appeared pro bono for deserving clients, in keeping with the highest traditions of the bar. Most of us here, I believe, have completed the 50 years with success, upholding the highest traditions of the bar and the noble principles of our profession. And I believe some of us would undoubtedly inspire the young generation of lawyers who will have to take up the responsibility of maintaining the high standard and dignity of this profession in time to come. Most of us, I believe, have molded young lawyers, some of whom are entitled, are eminent in their own right, and have been called to the inner bar. And we are all proud of those juniors who have succeeded in this profession. Our profession is not an easy profession to succeed. Hard work is necessary. Commitment is necessary. Presentation of cases in court must be lucid and up to the point. Should not be long and boring, because our judges who are filled with work have no time to waste their time. Therefore, I hope the junior lawyers will follow the seniors who are, and we have enough seniors, enough eminent seniors of the bar, who can guide all of us in the profession. In my view, to succeed in the legal profession, you must also have a peaceful family. Without a peaceful family life, we will never be able to succeed in our profession, which could only be achieved by drawing a balance between your family life and your professional life. You must keep at least a day or two for your family, which I have been following for the last 41 years. We also would not have reached whatever position we have reached if not for the cooperation of our wives, particularly, and their children. And also without the assistance and cooperation of our juniors. We are indeed grateful to our wives, children, and to our juniors. The great privilege of a professional, a great privilege of a professional is to be recognized by its main body, which the Bar Association had done to us. That is the biggest privilege we could have, and we thank the members of the bar for organizing this felicitation. And I also thank all the jubilarians who have been felicitated. And I hope the bar will continue to be as eminent as today and in the past, which could be relied on. And our members of the bar should be able to be persons of that caliber who could be relied on by every member. I thank you all for your patience. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.
Thank you very much, President's Counsel Ikram Mohammed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful evening, and of course, this evening would not have been possible without each and every one of you present here today to celebrate 50 years of the Bar Association, to bid farewell to the 47th Chief Justice, to welcome the 48th Chief Justice, and also, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate the Golden Jubilee of our fellow lawyers, our learned friends, ladies and gentlemen, in this profession. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, all good things must come to an end. I now take this opportunity to invite the Secretary of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Mr. Chathuragal Hena, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Your Ladyship, the Ladyship and Ladyships and Lordships of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal, President of the Bar Association, all jubilarians, distinguished members of the Bar. On behalf of the Management Committee of the Bar Association, I take a pride to propose the vote of thanks at this momentous occasion of the Bar Association, where it celebrates the Golden Jubilee since its inception in 1974. I would like to thank the Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Honorable Murthu Fernando, President's Counsel, the 40th Chief Justice for accepting our invitation, and also Mr. Fernando for accompanying her, and Lordship Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, and Mrs. Jayasuriya for accepting our invitation. Of course, I would like to thank the Honorable Attorney General. A special thank must go to the Honorable Solicitor General because Trouble Week comes next week. You are the presiding officer of the BASL elections, which is scheduled to be held in a week's time. Thank you, sir, for attending today, as well as all the support given to now and all the support that we are expecting from you for the week to come. And also, I would like to thank Honorable Harshana Nanayakkara, the Minister of Justice, who accepted our invitation. I thank all the jubilarians, including the members who has come from faraway places like in USA and UK. This event would have not been successful without the members of the Bar who patronized the event by purchasing the tickets and supporting the Bar Association to have this event in a successful way. This event would have been little dull and boring without the cultural troupe of the Sri Lanka Army. I would like to thank the Commander of Army and also, indeed, Mr. Ravindra Patirana, Additional Solicitor General, who is the Judge Advocate of the Sri Lanka Army, who arranged all these arrangements free of charge. I would like to thank the hotel staff, Panduka, the Chairman, Vinci, CEO, Director, Beverages, Food and Beverages, Charit, assisted by Hasini, Chef Rohana and his team, operations team, who had done a brilliant service today, and also organizing this lighting, sounds, videography, and everything by the team. Shehan Gunawardena reiterated that he should not be thanked today, but I heard that he and Mokshini want to take retirement after 2 decades of legacy in comparing the events of the Bar Association. I think we have found 2 successful comparing partners from the legal profession, Shalan and Purnima, who has shown their talent today. I think Shehan and Mokshini can have a happy retirement from their comparing career today. And I would like to thank Shehan, who has taken the burden of organizing this event. When Mr. Madhyagoda and I discussed about this event, Shehan volunteered as a member of the EXCO. All his chambers and juniors worked tirelessly. They did not want me to name them individually, but I think I fail in my duty if I don't make them. So very briefly, Dulanjana, Adish, Andrew, Pradeep, Usman, all of them worked entirely for about 3-4 weeks in making this event a success. And also, I would like to thank the BASL staff who has given so many rounds of calls to the members who, faraway places, who has completed 50 years to get their contacts, their CVs, their photographs, and make them attend today's event. And finally, I would like to thank all of you who has participated in this event. And I hope if there are any mishaps, please apologize on behalf of the Bar Association. It was an event that was done without an event organizer after a long time. All was done by our junior lawyers. And as a final remark, may I say, the Bar Association should continue its journey for the next 50 years as well. Probably there will be juniors who will be there when the BASL celebrates its century in another 50 years' time. And without taking much time, I would say, may all be blessed, have a pleasant evening, and a pleasant, safe journey back home. Thank you very much, and good night.
සැරද මියුරින්දු සඳ මියුරන් නදින් නදනා
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings an end to our celebrations tonight.
But as any experienced lawyer knows, the festivities of the evening are just beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we extend our heartfelt congratulations to tonight's jubilarians, our esteemed guests, and of course, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka as it looks forward to 50 more years and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night.